We have heard that 500,000 children have died. I mean, that's more children than died in Hiroshima. And you know, is the price worth it?
I think this is a very hard choice, but we think the price is worth it.
About 10 days after 9/11, I went through the Pentagon and I saw Secretary Rumsfeld and Deputy Secretary Wolfowitz. I went downstairs just to say hello to some of the people on the Joint Staff who used to work for me, and one of the generals called me in. He said, "Sir, you got to come in and talk to me a second." I said, "Well, you're too busy." He said, No. He says, "We've made the decision. We're going to war with Iraq." This was on or about the 20th of September. I said, "We're going to war with Iraq? Why?" He said, "I don't know." He said, "I guess they don't know what else to do." So I said, "Well, did they find some information connecting Saddam to Al-Qaeda?" He said, No. He says, "There's nothing new that way. They just made the decision to go to war with Iraq." He said, "I guess it's like we don't know what to do about terrorists, but we've got a good military and we can take down government."
So, I mean, that is the land of unconfirmed videos.
We came, we saw, he died.
Did it have anything to do with your visit?
No, oh, I'm sure it did.
The international road from Damascus towards Aleppo that was recently liberated by the Syrian army that passes through Idlib. And this is a sign that was put by the moderate rebels, so-called moderate rebels. It says Jabhat al-Nusra, which is Al-Qaeda in Syria. So the West was supporting Al-Qaeda this whole time, and we were called conspiracy theorists because we said so.
Ten years ago, a genuine movement of Syrian citizens demanding change in their country was hijacked by international players who saw this as a chance for regime change. Turkey opened its borders, allowing jihadists flow into Syria, armed and supplied by the US and some EU countries. There were no moderate rebels. The West armed and financed al-Nusra, Al-Qaeda and ISIS affiliates. They unleashed this horror on Syria, aided and abetted by Israel. The government and the people of Syria, with help from Russia and Iran, defeated ISIS, driving them out of most of their territory and regaining control of most of their country.
I am glad to hear that some of my former colleagues in Congress are speaking out against the recent unconstitutional airstrikes in Syria. But they're ignoring the bigger issue. The regime change war the United States continues to wage in Syria using Al-Qaeda, Al-Nusra, HTS terrorists as our proxy ground force, and who now occupy and control the city of Idlib, imposing Sharia law and cleansing the area of most Christians and religious minorities. The Biden administration continues to use our military to illegally occupy northeastern Syria to, quote, take the oil, as Trump so crassly but honestly put it, violating international law. A modern-day siege of draconian embargo and sanctions, similar to what the Saudi-US alliance employed in Yemen, is causing death and suffering for millions of innocent Syrians, depriving them of things like food, medicine, clean water, energy, warmth, and making it impossible for the Syrian people to try to begin to rebuild their war-torn country.